Folks, I'm here to say that I now officially think the bull run will last most, if not all, of 2025 and early into 2026. Now, that's not to say we're going to go straight up, of course. There is still a good chance that we'll peak around May or June, but prices will stay fairly high and not dump like crazy for the rest of the year, with, of course, a couple of things really outperforming. That definitely could be the case, but I think prices will stay high and bullish for all of 2025, perhaps in the early part of 2026. And I do believe like the timeline will probably be more like 2017 than 2021, and there are several reasons why I think so. First of all, we didn't just print a ton of money. We've been in QT for a long time. Like when Biden just got elected, we had printed a huge amount of money under Trump for COVID and then under Biden again for COVID. So the inflation was going to happen regardless after that got done. So, part of the reason we went down so fast afterwards was because inflation hit and the market started going down because people were very, very upset that things started costing more and they didn't really have more money to buy crypto at that point. Yes. And even with that, we still maxed out in November of 2021, even though like altcoins never had that second bounce. But generally, like for the real market max, it was April of 2021 with the altcoins. I think this November of 2021 was just more of an SBF pump and the altcoins didn't really get that. So that's very, very different from what we have now. We didn't just print a lot of money. I mean, most of the economic hard work was done in 2022 and 2023. We had really bad inflation in 2022 because we printed a lot of money the years prior. In 2023, it started coming down. In 2024, it basically mellowed out. And we're almost back at the neutral range. Plus, the interest rates are really starting to come down. So the economy has been set for growth for quite a while, man. You would have to like screw up pretty badly to get to where we were after we printed all that money about 4 years ago. So we haven't been printing money. There's not going to be massive inflation unless you really screw up somehow. And the thing is, the economy is still fairly strong. Unemployment's still fairly low. Consumer spending is still there. And inflation more or less has been controlled. Some of the costs are actually going even down. And we don't have something else like COVID. Yes, there is that bird flu thing, but I don't think that's going to be such a big deal. So that's one factor. I think the economics right now actually look more like 2016, 2017 than they do look like 2021, 2022. Secondly, obviously we have better regulations coming in, or hopefully better regulations coming in, at least neutral regulations, if not good regulations. The last administration, actually the last two administrations, were always pretty hostile to crypto, with in Trump's first term with Binance being kicked out and, Jay Clayton with that whole, I guess, Ethereum gate scandal thing. And obviously we know what happened with Gary Gensler in the last 4 years. I think Paul Atkins is more of an industry insider and he's going to be much, much more friendly towards crypto. And I think the taxing regime is also going to get more friendly towards crypto because the president himself actually has crypto investments, or at least his son's company does, which kind of flows back to him. So he's going to want a better tax regime as well. I think that'll be more relief for people that actually invest in cryptocurrency. Now, the other thing is with the government relaxing on crypto and maybe even offering tax incentives. I'm not really sure if he's going to do that or not. I think more crypto capital will actually flow in the United States, and I think more U.S. investors are willing to take out more money for crypto. Add to that the fact that more ETFs are going to be coming in, including some altcoin ETFs, and you can definitely see this bull run stretching out much more like 2016, 2017 than 2021. Remember, in that 2016, 2017 bull run, we're kind of at the end of 2016, getting into 2017, and the market didn't actually peak until the end of 2017. I don't think it'll quite be like that, but I think the stretch out of where we're really high, possibly a peak, could be much later than we think. Right now, I think we're just working towards inauguration right now. And I think some people are waiting until after inauguration to see what Donald Trump does. And realistically, on the economic policy front, he doesn't really have to do anything. And I think the economy will be fine for the next 4 years. You really have to screw up for the economy not to be fine for the next 4 years. Those of you that are afraid of the US dollar falling from grace because of BRICS, well, guess what? India says we're not doing that. We're going to trade in the US dollar. So the BRICS alliance of de-dollarization is completely falling apart at this point. So the US is going to stay dominant And Trump is probably going to make it better for crypto miners in the U.S. to take advantage of that, and there are several states doing kind of like a Bitcoin reserve, and the U.S. might do a Federal Reserve. I think the odds on that are only 40% on the betting markets right now, but just that or the possibility of that will actually keep hopes up. And with more institutional investment coming because of relaxing regulations, and also just an overall better positive sentiment now that Gary Gensler is going to be gone, and more ETFs coming in, I think the environment now will be a lot more like 2016 than 2021, because economically we're much more in the 2016-2017 era than 21-22 era, and also regulations wise we are getting better, with many crypto advisors that are deep in the industry taking up positions within the administration, and of course crypto donating a lot to his inauguration and other things. I think he's going to be very, very kind towards crypto in his regulatory stance. So my guess is yes, we still might max out in May or June, but that price will probably hang on until the end of the year, if not into next year. Do I think we're going to have a 4-year bull market? No, I don't think we're going to have a 4-year bull market, but I do think we might have maybe a year left when the price is really high. I still think you should probably sell in May or June if the price is really high, unless there's a new tax regime actually coming in. Whereas he says there's no crypto tax if you sell in 26 or something. And I do think it'll take a full year for some of the regulations that get put to take into effect. So maybe people will hold their crypto as they wait for regulations to get better further and further along in his administration. So I think there is a lot of big holding potential that make people hold more instead of just buy and sell, because they're waiting for better tax regimes or better regulations. So right now this feels a lot more like 2017 than it does like 2021. So that's my rationale for the crypto bull run lasting, or high prices lasting, for at least another year or so before we start going down. And they will go down for sure, but I don't think it's going to be quite like the last bull run. So that's my rationale. Like and subscribe, hit the bell notifications button, and I will see you guys later.